Good morning, guys, and welcome to FYI. Welcome. It's good to see each and every one of you. Wherever you guys are joining us from this morning, welcome, welcome, welcome. It's really a delight to be here. It's another Monday, folks. It's way past, well, not way past, but it's past mid-month already. We trust that you guys are great and well wherever you're joining us from this morning. It's a little past mid-month, and we're just ensuring we dot the I's and cross our T's. Good to see each and every one of you. Wherever you're joining us from this morning, guys, welcome. Good to see Wendy Cease is on this morning. Clear Alexis Chamley Richmond is on this morning as well. Great to see each and every one of you. Wherever you guys are joining us from, it's simply a delight to have all of you here with us. I see Tommy Gibbs. I see Claire Alexis Chamley Richmond is here. Good to have you guys on with us, folks. Let us know if you're hearing our audio loud and clear. The technicians who are on duty, of course. Ayabo Natasha Congress. Good afternoon to Ayabo. Ayabo is joining us from the UK. Great to have Ayabo with us. I know Fitzherbert Jarrett, who usually joins us from Connecticut, is home and enjoying the beauty of Berbice, and we're thankful for that. We're thankful for that. Wherever you folks are joining us from this morning, we are simply delighted to have all of you folks here with us. We are happy that you all are here. You all are here. We're here. What more could we ask for, good folks? What more could we ask for? And certainly somebody doesn't know that we're on live and they are bothering us on the telephone. Don't do that, sister. We begging you all. Don't do it. We begging. Don't do it. But great to have each and every one of you. Do let us know, guys, if you're seeing us clearly, you're hearing us clearly. Um, during the last week, guys, we were tweaking a couple things. Good to see Lester joining us. Rashley Ford. Good to see Rashley is there with us too, guys. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. Wherever you wonderful folks are joining us from, happy Monday to each and every one of you. And we're just trying to make sure at our ends we are good to go. We got a couple kinks in the system we are working out. But we're gonna get through it. Good to have each and every one of you here with us. A couple of kinks in the system that we got to work through, but good to have all of you guys here with us. We kind of tweaked things over the weekend, and of course, we're happy that you guys are here with us. We had some tweaking over the weekend, guys. Just alerting you on that. And again, great to have all of you. Great to have each and every one of you joining us. Some small tweaks over the weekend. A tweak here, a tweak there. You know how things are, folks. We hope that you guys have had a good weekend. We spent part of the weekend in Essequibo, and we're happy that you folks are here with us. Now we're happy to be back in the city, the national capital city of Georgetown, here in Ghana, where we're broadcasting live from. And again, guys, just tremendously privileged to be here with all of you good folks. Again, just tremendously privileged to be here with all of you good folks. And we're just making sure that we are good to go at all ends. And again, very, very happy that so many of you are joining us. We're watching the quality of the video. We don't know if it's at our end. If it's at your end, maybe. But we are monitoring that. Don't like what I'm seeing here on my monitor. Don't like what I'm seeing here on my monitor, but guys, I'm happy that you folks are here with us. Nonetheless, happy that you folks are here with us. Yeah, good. That looks a little better. Guys, good to see you. Norma Bruce, we see you there, Norma. Isola Allen, we see you there as well. And Siobhan, Sherman Jackman, good to see you too. Lyndon Gill, good to see you as well. And good to see Tommy. Lyndon Gill says somebody looking good. I don't know if it's me. Technician Ayabo Natasha Congreve says sounds good from her and it's clear. But if it's clear all the way in the UK, it got to be clearer to you, those of you who are joining us closer to home. And if you're hearing us or you're seeing us a little odd, it's not me, right? Deborah Pearson says the video is clear. June Cameron says we're outside. Guys, it's so good to be. It's so good to be here. When we are outside during our broadcast, there's so many challenges, but I don't think it's too different from inside. At least we get the comfort sometimes of having the air conditioner running. Riri, when you're outside there, it's just the heat. Soul Island says it's clear. Utility Grant, good to see you as well. And I see Beverly Book is here. Vanessa De Silva is with us as well. Vanessa De Silva says it's loud and clear in Linden. Well, we're happy. We're happy, Vanessa. Hope your day, Vanessa, is off to a running start. Diane Gravesandi, how's Linden treating you as well, Diane? I see Kia McCrae is here. Kia McCrae, good to have you, Kia. Kia says it's loud and clear in Maryland. Well, if it's loud and clear in Maryland, folks, loud and clear in the UK. Maylene Hopkinson, good to see you, Maylene. Folks, we're happy that you guys have joined us this morning from the many places you all usually join us from. It's nothing short of a privilege for us at this end to be here with you guys. Really and truly, nothing short of a privilege to be here with you guys. We're happy that you all are here with us, and we're fired up at this end and ready to go. And we hope that it's the same for you guys wherever you join us from. We set at our end, folks. We got a couple of things we want to share with you guys this morning. A couple of things is not plenty. It's a couple, just ensuring that we're good to go. A couple of things we want to share with you guys. Wherever you're joining us from today, we're good to go, folks. And thanks for joining us from the many places that you guys are joining us from. Good to see each and every one of you on the live, wherever you're joining us from today. Good to have all of you. How was the weekend? Good to have all of you all here with us. How was the weekend at your end, folks? How was the weekend at your end? We hope it's good. We hope it was good. We hope the weekend was good, folks. We hope that weekend was good. And again, good to have you all. Good to have you all here with us. Good to have you all here with us. Wherever you're joining us from, good folks, welcome to FYI. Welcome. I see Ras Ricardo is here. Ras Ricardo says it's loud and clear in New Jersey. And then we have Beatrice Selby as well. Good to see you, Beatrice. Sparkling Singh is here too. Florence Akila Robertson is here with us. We got Anita too. Good to have Anita here. Deborah Pearson. How are you doing, Debs? And Selena Fraser is here too. Selena, how are you? Selena joins us from Canada. Good to see you, Selena. Pace and power, guys. Pace and power. We got Eileen Griffith Norton Innish joining us, and we got quite some other folks who are watching us as well, guys. We're happy that you folks are here with us. Welcome to our morning broadcast. For your information, FYI. And you guys, we're just letting you know that we're going to touch on some of the things we're covering in the morning papers. We take you to some of the things we're tracking internationally, folks. We come back into the Caribbean, into the region, which is Latin America for us, and into South America, into the Caribbean. Anything we're picking up there. Folks are seeing loud and clear in Georgia. Oh man, Georgia's in the house, right? Good to have you, Georgia. Zabula, good to have you. Zabula, I hope I'm calling it right. Good to have you joining us all the way from Georgia, folks. It's y'all encourage us to see we got an international morning program. You all join me from all over the world, and we're thankful. We're thankful, folks, because we know our Guyanese brothers and sisters are all over the world. We're grateful for that. So we're covering some stuff, folks, in the morning papers. In the morning papers, we hope that Polly is okay. Unbothered Guyanese, Polly. Godfrey Lane, we see you, Godfrey. Right? I see Kyle. By no sense, it's loud and clear in the Dutch country. Good to see you, Kyle. And Jacqueline Johnson is here with us as well. Veronica Primo Rollins is here too, folks. Some of the stuff we're covering in the morning papers. Lots of things happening out here, you know, folks. Lots of things happening out here. We're listening to a conversation with former Minister Savona Brooms over the weekend, and she had as her guest former magistrate Don. Let me get it right, Don. I'm trying to remember her maiden name. John Cush. Cush is her married name. I'm trying to remember her maiden name. But she had former magistrate Don Cush on. And one of the things it touched on, you know, the Judicial Service Commission was reconstituted last week, Friday. They wait till we were in SCKO and then they reconstituted the commission. And so that's one of the things we are looking at. But some of the comments from the former magistrate, Don Holder was her name. Don Holder Cush, had quite a few things to say about the treatment of the Chief Justice, the treatment of the acting chancellor, acting Chief Justice, acting chancellor. Now, these are women who wasn't friends, family, and favorites, right? They got to where they are by dint of meritocracy, the quality of the work. You might disagree with some of the judgments, but when you see the reasoning, you can't fault them too much, right? You can't fault them too much. So here was former magistrate Don Holder Cush talking about these egregious actions for the last 17 years, folks. 17 years. We have not had a substantive chancellor of the judiciary. Somebody always acting like Hollywood. We have not had a substantive, or depends on which school you went to, a substantive Chief Justice. Is always somebody acting, right? It's Hollywood, folks. It's Hollywood. But these women are eminently qualified. I agree with the former magistrate and should be appointed. Now, they are acting in their positions and they are now going to be presiding over a commission, part and parcel of a commission, in which they're confirming judges. They're going to be confirming members of the judiciary, in addition to the other functions they're going to be carrying out as a commission, but both of them are acting. And folks are saying it's time we confirm these women in these positions. It has been talked about as high as the Caribbean Court of Justice, the Caribbean Court, the Caribbean Court of Justice. This is a matter that has engaged the attention even of the court, and they've made different pronouncements at varying points. Only recently they were here in an itinerant sitting, and even before that, when a courtesy call was being paid during what do you call it, Bar Association Week, or whatever is the correct name of that. We gotta fix this. It's an egregious infraction, and part of it stemmed from the fact that we rarely have an occasion where the president and leader of the opposition can agree on these matters. Rarely, it's just a couple of weeks here in this 2x4 country. United States of America got millions of people. How did they manage to find agreement? Even with issues like January 6th and the infamous insurrection and all of that, people still find, seek out common ground and work to build that country together. But we hear just a couple of us, and we find it so hard. So here is, I think this was on Saturday, Simona Brooms discussing matters of national interest. And as I said, for those of you now joining us, her guest on Saturday was former magistrate Don Holder Cush, talking about women in the law, and more specifically, why the current office holders acting as chancellor and Chief Justice should be confirmed in those positions. Folks, those of you who are now joining us, Grace Noel says, confirm the damn women. I endorse that, Grace. Grace Noel says, confirm them. If you're now joining us, folks, one of the things we ask is that you share the live. It doesn't cost you anything. Smash that emoji button for us, folks. We see, several hundreds of you have already joined our morning program. But here is Don Cush on that very note. Don Holder Cush, former magistrate, political activist, now, having her voice heard out there. Again, talking about this issue of women in the judiciary and why we have to do all that we can, to correct this system we have operating. currently. Again, sharing the platform on Saturday with former Minister Simona Brooms, here is former magistrate Don Cush, Don Holder Cush for you. Take a listen, folks. Share the line, smash that emoji button.
Acting Chancellor, Justice Janet Cummins, the Honorable Chief Justice Roxanne George, and the other one is former Chancellor Carl Singh, who was never confirmed in his position because there was no Judicial Service Commission. But that is not the issue. The Judicial Service Commission is a good thing that we have that, because the vacancies for magistrates and judges and registrar of deeds, etc., people can now apply and those positions can now be filled. The problem is we're going to put a chancellor and a chief justice who are enacting appointments to sit on that Judicial Service Commission and appoint judges and magistrates while they themselves are not confirmed, right? So we need to get this issue of appointing a chancellor and a chief justice. And I'm not saying appointing a chancellor and chief, I'm saying appointing the current chancellor, Honorable Justice Janet Cummins, a jurist of great integrity, coming out of the DPP chambers. So also the Chief Justice, Honorable Justice Roxanne George, brilliant jurist, right? The CCJ has spoken highly about these women. These are not women that no CCJ judge may say to them, are you attempting to mislead this court? And everybody knows who I'm speaking about. I wouldn't call any name. But these are two very strong women who deserve to be appointed immediately. Immediately. The Chancellor and the Chief Justice have recently voiced their disappointment about their continued acting appointments. So this now falls not only to the President, but to the opposition leader. It's quite unfortunate that we always get people involved in our business. So in 1997, President Carter got involved with CARICOM, and we had this Hurd-Manston Accord, which said there must be agreement. Now, once it said it, we got problems. But I haven't heard anybody say anything bad about these women. I haven't heard the president utter anything about them. The opposition leaders made it clear he supports them. The Bar Association has come out.
Yes.
Right? I saw Mr. Ralph Ramkaran he has a column called The Conversation Tree. And he's saying, and he's right, but right in quotation marks. So what is right in paper is not necessarily what is right in life, right? Because he said the president could still have his choice of chancellor and chief justice, and that is true. But how could you have people who have served diligently for year after year after year, and then come and tell them, okay, you will just go to the Court of Appeal, and we have somebody else for chancellor, and we have somebody else for the chief justice. What does that do for the young judges coming up, particularly the female judges? What does that do for them? I must add, also on the commission is former Chancellor Carl Singh, who was never ever confirmed.
Yes.
Never confirmed. And I want to make a quote to you that was said by Justice Saunders, the president of the CCJ. He says, the notable stain on Guyana's judicial landscape, the non-appointment of the Chancellor and the Chief Justice. There is one significant blot on an otherwise impressive Guyanese legal and judicial landscape. Justice Adrian Saunders, president in the CCJ. What more they want? That is that is an embarrassment that I don't know how we could live that.
You know,
right? Man is saying appoint these people. So Dennis Byron said that before, when the other government was in power. When the government I support was in office. He came to a Bar Association dinner. Everybody was so ashamed. The chancellor and the chief justice are sitting at their table. And the man is saying this is
Welcome back, folks. And again, that was former Magistrate John Holder Cush for us there, talking about why the Chancellor and Chief Justice acting currently should be confirmed in those positions. And I think hardly you would find a Guyanese who disagrees with that, right? Hardly you'd find a Guyanese who disagree with that. Folks are saying my sound is off, but I don't know. Let me know if you can hear me. Let us know if you can hear us, folks. Hardly you might find a Guyanese who would disagree with that, right? That's our former magistrate again talking to us there. Yeah, that was former magistrate. Apologies there. Former magistrate Don Holder Cush talking to us there again about why the Chancellor and Chief Justice should be appointed. And again, I was remarking that hardly you'd find any Guyanese who would disagree with that. Hardly you'd find that. These women have stood in these positions, held their own, and delivered the goods. And if no administration, this one should be very thankful for the quality of person they have in the Chief Justice. There's not one case the Chief Justice knocked down for the afternoon AFC during the last general and regional election. We have all of those challenges flooding the court system. There's not one case. And we've had disagreements over several of them. But the government of the day should be thankful for the quality person that they have in the Chief Justice. Roxanne George Wilshire should be very thankful. Should be extremely thankful. Since that was Don Holder Cush for us, former magistrate, telling us, walking us through that bit. Well, last week, one of the most shared articles had to be that coming out of Reuters. People call this word all kinds of names. It's Reuters. They call it Reuters, all the manner of things. We'll settle for Reuters this morning. U.S. probing Exxon contractor in Guyana for smuggling drugs and gold. That was the headline for the article. The U.S. probing Exxon contractor in Guyana for smuggling drugs and gold. And this was quite a write-up about the Mohammeds, the father and son, right? Their father and son. And let me just give you a couple paragraphs about on what they wrote, right? A couple paragraphs on what they wrote, and maybe let me start here. It says the U.S. government officials repeatedly warned ExxonMobil to avoid doing business with two mining magnates in Guyana who face a U.S. investigation on suspicions of money laundering, drug trafficking, and gold smuggling, according to 5 people with knowledge of the matter and the 2 intelligence reports seen by Reuters. The Texas-based oil giant ignored the advice, which was delivered during meetings in late 2021 and early 2022, and cut a deal to build a $300 million offshore logistics base with a consortium that included the 2 Guyanese businessmen, Nazar Mohammed and his son Asruddin. Exxon announced the contract award in April of 2022. The Mohammeds have close ties with Guyana's president and some cabinet members, according to one of the U.S. intelligence report, and 3 sources with knowledge of the relationship. The government controls access to vast and newly discovered oil reserves off the South American nation's coast. The Mohammeds, owners of Mohammed's enterprise, had mostly focused on gold mining and foreign currency exchange before expanding into the oil business in recent years and securing the lucrative deal with Exxon. Yeah. And that's just the first 3 paragraphs. Just the first 3. It goes on to talk about who said what, who knew what, when, and all of that. Again, this is the header for the article coming out of Reuters. U.S. probing Exxon contractor in Guyana for smuggling drugs and gold. Now, Reuters news agency is a renowned news organization. This isn't the room with the news. This isn't Chronicle, it's not GPI. It's a renowned news organization. As a matter of fact, other news organizations, use the content from Reuters worldwide. Other news organizations, that is the kind of journalism. They have almost impeccable journalism. Almost impeccable journalism. So 2 things are at play here, folks. 2 things are at play here. One, if this article is untrue, somebody went a very long way. Somebody went a very long way and got deep ties and deep pockets to infiltrate Reuters in this way to produce this kind of content. Right? Reuters is not global wickedness, You all remember global witness? Right? The correct name is really global wickedness. That was that publication that came out just on the eve of the 2020 election saying that the last administration had mismanaged the oil and gas, the nascent oil and gas sector. And then after the election, they come back to say they withdrew the article and couldn't stand by the reporting. There's no global wickedness. Reuters have been here for a long time, and they built their journalism on fact-checking, on reliable sources, on credible sources. That's how they built the journalism. As a matter of fact, I'll go to say that, I repeat, that other news agencies worldwide rely on Reuters, rely on that quality journalism they've been known for over the years. So if all of this is untrue, somebody went to a lot of a far way to get this done. It means you got to get real connections and perhaps very, very deep pockets deeper than the Mohammeds. Pockets perhaps deeper than Exxon Mobil. If all of this is a hatchet job, if all of this is a hatchet job, the other side of it, if the article is credible, as we know Reuters to produce credible articles, it raises a lot of questions. It raises a lot of questions. A lot of questions. Now, since this news broke over the last 72 hours, I saw a statement out from the outgoing mayor. I heard they pull him out from his office, his party comrades, put him out from his office recently. All that we're grappling with. And I saw a statement out from the mayor, and I heard, I didn't see it, that attorney at law, because he hasn't been disbarred, just doesn't practice as he used to, attorney at law, businessman, James Bond, came to the defense of Mohammed. And social media was ablaze. I saw one guy saying that James asked the mayor to repost something and all of that. So lots of that going on out there. But folks, I just wonder, Have you ever wondered why, when the People's Progressive Party Civic come to governance, is all of this mud and muck, decadence and decay in the moral fabric of this country? Every day is something. Every day is something. Reuters went at pains to say, and I want to quote them, the Mohammeds have close ties with Guyana's president and some cabinet members. Right? We lived through and we haven't recovered fully, and I doubt we ever will. With Sue in the vice president's living room, the vice president caught on camera saying that Sue handles all the arrangements. He's on the government side. And now here we have this article from an international news agency. International news agency. You know what is sad? This government's policies aren't breaking through the international news the way their infractions are. Is a minister who alleged to have raped and sodomized a young girl, a child, 16, barely 16. It's Vice News with the vice president and Sue, and deals being purportedly cut in a living room. It's all that we're dealing with. I am hearing no news agency, international or otherwise, talking about their low carbon development thing, you know, the carbon credits. I'm hearing no news agency talking about the housing policies. We get mentioned for the oil because it's money and a lot of people want that. But you and I know that oil flowing down, it's flowing to the side. It's not coming down because a lot of people still catching the tail in this country. Cost of living is sky high. Sky high. Whenever I engage service people, like you're buying from a some establishment food or some item, I always tend to ask people, how much do you earn? I spend for business like that. I try to be very polite. Could I ask you a very personal question? I tell them, you don't have to be exact. Give me a wrong figure. And it's remarkable how much people earn. You see, we were at Charity Market. I asked that woman who keeps the market tidy, the washroom area tidy. She earns $35,000 a month. $35,000 a month. How she's make out? I asked one young lady the other day, she said she earning about, before tax, $22,000 a week. Now even that, let's say you don't own your own home. Most landlords think that every Guyanese apparently got you got your oil block. Rents are ridiculous. Even at earning $80,000 a month, that's a tight ship you gotta run. You living on your own, you gotta live with your parents still. And other siblings and everybody chipping in. We have never been as wealthy as we are as a nation, and yet so poor. Yet so poor. Yet so poor. I wish the Mohammeds the best. But this thing here looking nice. For them as a family and for us as a country, it ain't looking nice at all. And we could go back to the Nazir Mohammed whole thing there with the visa and former CIA person hired to look into why he wasn't granted a visa and all of that. It's one set of mix-up story. And this is how persons get to know us as a country on the international stage. You can imagine people who read Reuters looking and saying, hey, what's this here? Because I saw several news agencies, even in the region, now picking up on this story. Why? Because Reuters had it. We've had these rumors here all the time. I didn't see some of these agencies in the region, but that is the power of Reuters. I said to you, other news agencies depend on them for stories because they have reporters in a lot of places. Now, I want to know right now, I always wonder about the things I don't know. That's what frightens me. Right? Isabel Young was here for a couple months, sit down, watching them boys, having meetings with them, smiling up with them, and so on. Reuters was here doing the work. They said they had several meetings with Exxon in Guyana here. It makes me wonder who else here watching us, watching how we're carrying on. What else is being written? What else is in the pipeline? I feel, folks, within the next couple of years, and I'm not talking about the Mohammeds here, I'm talking about government people. Going to land in the States, and you can hear they were renditioned. Uncle Sam gone with them, or the land in some other country, and Uncle Sam gone with them, because clearly a lot of people watching us. Was Vice News the other day? Is Reuters recently? Who else? The CIA watching me? Who else watching them? And what do they know? That is what frightens me. What is to come? What is to come? Because Nazir Shel Mohammed, when the CIA fellow came and so on, again, the gentleman said he was innocent. And this very thorough background check, the CIA man said everything is above board. This former CIA person who was hired to look into Mohammed's background, I remember in that man's reporting, or what was attributed to him, he said he don't lie for nobody, and if he find anything, he'll tell them. But he said he didn't see nothing. This is a former CIA fella that the Mohammed's hired to look into, whether there was anything in his background, and I think he presented it to U.S. authorities in hopes of having a visa. Right? And now you have this report in which, again, Reuters said, according to 5 people with knowledge of the matter and 2 intelligence reports. This is not intelligence report from the Guyana Police Force, Hickins and Karimbash and them. This is, I think they mentioned CIA report, and U.S. intelligence report that they saw. So you all understand where we are. You all understand where we are. I wish the gentlemen the best in their business. But this thing looking real bad. This thing looking real bad. I wish them the best. Wish them the best. Wish them the best. And with that said, other things happening over the weekend. We saw several news reports. I saw one out of Travis Chase of HGPTV, and I saw also you got Culture News, Culture News on this matter as well. The charges will shortly be laid against Melissa Atwell, right? Fondly known as Melly Mel. It's a little too early in the morning if I be a little lewd with the middle name. It was late in the day, perhaps. It was a little too early in the morning. In which it says the government is about to lay some charges. A wanted bulletin might be issued. Right? a wanted bulletin might be issued. They said the charges against Atwell come following reports made by a former government minister. Right? Reports made by a former government minister. Is this Dharmalal? Who is this former government minister? A private hospital and others. Right? So charges are likely to be laid. And Melissa Atwell, Melly Mel, talking with Kaiser News apparently over the weekend, because this is the header for this article. I will not be intimidated or bullied. Well, you might be able to bully Melly Mel, but you ain't gonna do it publicly. Right? You ain't gonna do it publicly. She said, I will not be intimidated or bullied. I'm giving you what she said. We ain't taking bully. I will not be intimidated. I spilled the tea. Y'all know we pagly here. Y'all know a little pagly. So I spilled the tea, folks. Yeah. She said, I'm not going to be bullied. Don't do it. But it's another comment that she said. You see how graphic doing this whole thing? It's another comment she said that had us thinking. Because in this article out of Kaiser News, in this article, and a comment attributed to Melissa Atwell, Melly Mel, she says, we live in a country where citizens are not allowed to criticize the regime or their associates. They are not allowed to criticize the regime or their associates. This government preaches about democracy, and yet they trample on the democratic rights of their citizens daily. Now, I started thinking a great many things. We at this end, when we saw that, is it basket and brunch? What was the name of the event that Melly Mel's name was associated with? Right? After hearing some of the things that she said, in the run-up to the last local government elections, that she was PPP, she know them, and all of those stuff, right? It got me thinking. Because if you know these boys, of course, you know how vindictive, wicked they are. Wicked, and I put some ellipses there. I said, early morning, I really want to go in a certain direction. Right? I train hard not to go in a certain direction so early. Right? But after hearing how very forceful she was doing that, and I heard this event was happening locally, I thought that she was here. I don't know if she was. I thought she was here. And I'm saying, something, I'm watching them boys. I'm watching them boys. Right? Did you guys see her here? I didn't see her here. Was she here? Right? I'm not too certain she was here. Was she here? Right? But we're hearing now that there's a possibility that charges are going to be instituted shortly. A wanted bulletin might be issued. Kaiser News says she's out of the jurisdiction. I don't know if she was here for that event. I'm trying to remember the name to do it justice. Basket and brunch, is it? Brunch and basket. Basket, brunches. What was the name of the event, folks? Y'all help me out. Right? Good. So folks said that she was not here. Blanket and baskets. Baskets and blankets. So folks said she was not here. So when I heard that, when I heard of this event and Atwell is involved in it in some way or fashion, I started wondering what's going to happen here now, because you know these people, how they are. You know how they stay. Baskets and blankets. Thanks very much, guys. Basket and blankets. Right. That one kind of flew under my radar. I was telling a colleague, if I had known this thing was happening, I would have gone. I didn't, honest to God, I didn't know. In my own world, focus on my own things, didn't know it was happening. Right? And I blame Odessa for that. Right? But now we see what's happening. Now we see what's happening. She said, I will not be intimidated or bullied. Right? In her DPP voice, she will not be intimidated or bullied. And again, right? Another comment, she said, well, let me go to the one before for those of you who might be now joining us. She said, we live in a country where citizens are not allowed to criticize the regime. This is Kaichur News reporting. Or their associates. You can't criticize them or their associates. Their government, this government preaches about democracy, and yet they trample on democratic rights of the citizens daily. I've done nothing but work tirelessly to help people in my country, especially the poor. And if speaking out against victimization and injustice is a crime, then arrest me. I work tirelessly for the people of my country, especially the poor. And if speaking out against victimization and injustice is a crime, arrest me. This is according to Kaichur News. Yeah. This is according to Kaichur News. This country getting very interesting. This country is getting very, very interesting. Very interesting. I got to talk with Melimel. So if you're watching us, please, let's make contact. Let's make contact. She said to Kaichur News, she didn't want to say too much because her lawyers are looking at the matter. But we can touch on some generalities. We can touch on some generalities. So that's one of the things we're looking at, good folks. This morning, in the morning papers. And of course, they said charges are going to be instituted. That is what the word on the ground is. That is what the word on the ground is. Charges are going to be instituted. And then you can got some wanted bulletin. That don't be a suit for people who accused of rape and sodomy and so on, wanted bulletin. No. Right? No. It's others. It's a wanted bulletin in this country. Right? So we wish Atwell the very best. We know how them boys operate. I'm a victim of that. I was in court on Friday. I was in court. Virtually, thanks be to God. You all know I was on assignment in Essequibo. Right? I was in Essequibo on Friday. And my lawyer, I am really grateful for the lawyers I have from Hughes Fields and Stobie. They got two beautiful young ladies, bright and beautiful, assigned to me. This is, oh God, they confuse me now. This is Ayana. I'm trying to remember her last name. Butts, attorney at law Butts. And I have also Leander, attorney at law Leander, beautiful and bright. Messaged me and said, probably know me. A reminder, you're due in court 1:30. Right? Now, Ayana lunch break, eating a Chinese in Essequibo. I was about 10 minutes left in the lunch break. And then I see the message from my attorney. So I borrowed somebody's car, put on the AC, and I in court on these trumped up charges, and this Cybercrime Act is the tool of choice, even though they plan to repeal it. The Cybercrime Act is their weapon of choice as they're seeking to weaponize the courts. It's a weapon of choice. That's the weapon of choice. So I understand where Atwell is. right? But it seems as though her boots on the ground and she ain't backing down. That is how it would seem to us. Her boots on the ground and she's not backing down. Folks, wherever you're joining us from this morning, share the live. Smash that emoji button. Partner with us. We see over 2,000 persons are joining us across social media. Over 2,000. Y'all fast bad. Y'all fast bad. Credible Sources alone, we got over 1,000 watching us. On Credible Sources Facebook page, over 1,000 persons are watching us. On our YouTube channel, we got over 600 persons watching us there. We're thankful to all of you. We're thankful for all of you for joining us. But go one step further. Go one step further for us, folks. Smash that emoji button for us. Smash it, smash it, smash it. I will forgive you if you share, because I know some of y'all in a tight spot. At least y'all be arrested too. Charged and arrested, wanted bulletin for sharing the live. But if you can, share the live too. If you can, share the live too. So that's what's going down with Melissa Adwell. And when we have more folks, we can give you all more. As we have more, we give you all more. You know? Folks in Georgetown, the constituency in Georgetown, the constituencies had a rally at Starbrook Market Square on Saturday, I think it was. Yesterday. There was a rally on the Starbrook Market Square, and Mr. Norton, of course, give remarks, give the feature address, whatever you want to call it. But he will into them boys. He will into them boys. The current government, I must be watching he to see what cyber crimes he committed. He will into them during the process of that. You know, the PNCR, they were reflecting on the recent victories at the local government election 2022. Right? Local government elections right now in Trinidad heating up. In Trinidad heating up. You know, I'm watching our Guyanese brothers and sisters who live there, thinking about hopping across there for a couple of days in the next few days. And then we got some stuff happening in Jamaica as well on the local government front. Well, folks, you see a couple of people cross over the aisle locally, and some of y'all getting basta, like there's anything new under the sun. Same thing happening in Trinidad. Same thing happening in Jamaica. You know, if we got some more time, we can get towards that. But the leader of the opposition in that rally on Sunday, yesterday, wailed into them boys. Wailed into them boys. Folks, take a little listen. We can give you all everything. It's on our page, if you missed it. I think it's on our YouTube channel. Again, we're doing some work at the back end of our Facebook page. Right? The page that hosts our program, I should say. The page that thankfully hosts our program. Credible Sources. And so we were offline yesterday, I think it was. Right? We still haven't completed what's happening there. Right? So this is on our YouTube channel. You can tell it's there on our YouTube channel. The entire rally. So if you want it, the whole hour and a half or 2 hours, you go and you listen there. We just give you a little piece. Take a listen, folks.
We have shown that we can beat the People's Progressive Party. They spend billions of taxpayers' money. They put flags like if flags could vote. They spend money like if money could vote. But when the people vote, they run and hide. I want to say this to you. We have nothing to be afraid of. We will strategize and beat Barrett Jackdale, the PPP, and his money. They have awakened a sleeping giant. It is one thing when you see the PNCR, APNU in a corner and you leave them alone. But the minute you trouble them, you have awakened a sleeping giant. I want to say to you, one of the most incompetent people this country has seen is Byron Jack Dale. I want to point out to you that when we raise issues of consequence, when we talk about how we will bring down the cost of living, when we give them proposals to improve the lives of the people, what does he do? He lifts up his front and views. If you are of any consequence, you will seek to answer the issues raised, but he cannot do that. He lacks the intellectual capacity to do that. And we must note that he's incompetent. He has not one single successful project to his name. He virtually destroyed the NIS. He single-handedly destroyed the sugar sector. Came back telling us that sugar and they will deliver. But at present, you are getting the lowest production in the history of this country, thanks to the incompetence of Bharat Rosan Jagdeo. Here is a man. Here is a man. Here is a man, if he can be so called, that is telling people all sorts of nonsense. But he has been a complete failure. He got billions of dollars from the EU to diversify sugar, help sugar workers. And what he did, he wasted on Skeldon factory that has produced nothing until now. Let me remind the joker. Let me remind the joker that he spent billions telling us that we're going to get fiber optic cable that is going to link all the Guyana by internet. That too failed. He promised us a modern packaging factory at Enmore. That also failed. I want you to compare the things we did as both PNC and as APNU AFC, and you will see that we did better than the People's Progressive Party over the years. When we came to power in 1964, tar roads were restricted to Georgetown, Linden, New Amsterdam, and a very small part on the West Coast. It is our political party under the astute leadership of Lyndon Forbes, Samson Burner, that built the roads in this country. Let us understand that we have shown that money does not win elections. We need money, yes, but we need organization. We have shown them that we can walk this country, we can speak to our constituency, and that at the end of the day, they will vote for us and we will bust their backside. So, let us not be carried away. Let us not be carried away by their speech. And he can't even talk. We must understand that as a political party, we will do our work street by street, house by house, and we will beat the People's Progressive Party. Why will we beat the People's Progressive Party? We will beat them because they are only serving their friends, their families, and their favorites. They have spent $1 billion of oil money, but it is not meeting you, the people. We say to you, an APNU government will put in place policies and projects to ensure the money meets our people. We're saying to you, we will bring into practice Dr. Clive Thomas's promise of $1 million Guyana a household. Do not be carried away by a 5,000 here, a 10,000 there, and then they keep billions over there. We must understand that as a party, we will do the projects and give you the policies that will put resources in your hands. We will, for instance, move the threshold for paying income tax to $150,000. What that means is that there will be more money in your pocket. This government is so incompetent. You have a crisis in the poultry industry with chickens. Mind you, all the talking, when they took power in 92, we were producing all the chickens we need. We were producing everything that we need. Now there's a crisis. And I heard the presidents talking about bringing chicken from Brazil. You are going to kill the local chicken industry. A government that is sensible will subsidize the feed and help our farmers to produce chicken at a proper cost. But the president doesn't think. If you go to university at Eiffel, you are likely to say the stupidness that he is saying. But what we need is proper policies. I have said before, and I repeat it again tonight, that we will deal with the housing crisis in a number of ways. And one of them is that we will develop a rent-to-own program where we will build houses, allow our poor, ordinary people who cannot afford a house to pay a rent at a relatively low cost, and by the time they finish covering the money for the house will become theirs. That is what we need. That is what we need. Let me say this to you. About 16,000 children every year will do the grade 6, or what some of y'all as old as me will call common entrance. And when they do that grade 6 exams, by the time they meet Form 5, only about 5,000 children will get 5 CXC with math and English. What that means is about 11,000 children fall through the crack every year. And this government stupidly celebrates the 1% that did extremely well and forget the 11,000. We are saying to you, we believe there is a place in this society for the children who might not be academic. It is our intention to re-establish night schools so our children who would have fallen out of school can go back to school and get a proper education. This government is so dumb. This government is so dumb that they closed the night schools started under David Granger. You now telling us you are going to bring nurses from overseas. The damn fools must know if they pay the nurses better, they will stay here. And we are saying to you, that as a political party, we believe our workers must be properly treated. And I have said before, and I repeat this evening, that we are going to do a survey to find out what is the minimum livable income our people need and ensure they get a minimum livable income. That's what our people want. I want to turn to land. And I want you to listen to this and listen to it carefully. This government is placing people on a house lot diet. Soon as they open them out as house lots. But I want you to travel all the new roads and see the amount of lands they allot to their cronies. While they are telling us about a house lot, they are giving their families, their friends, and their favorite large plots of land in this country to ensure that the rich get richer while the poor get poor. We have to change that. Okay. We have a Guyana police force that is supposed to be serving us and should serve us. I've already made this point, but I gotta make it. I saw the commissioner acting as he is, saying that they are raising the standards for people to enter the police force. If they had those standards when he joined, he couldn't get in. Tell him I say that. Our policemen need better salaries. Our policemen need better conditions. They do not need a politicized police force that serves the PPP, and it does not serve the people. And I say to you, a Guyana police force under the APNUAFC will be a police force that respects the law. It will be a police force that serves the people. You would recall that when we were in government, we began to solve the crimes, even those committed under the PPP. But the Jagabats came to power and changed that. They take the criminals and put them in the criminal investigation department, rather than putting people who can solve the crime. And so we have got to rework this entire Guyana police force and make it into a force that serves the people of this country. We have shown...
And you were listening there to the leader of the opposition, Mr. Aubrey C. Norton, Aubrey Compton Norton, and that was the rally at the Sabak Market Square yesterday. Some of what he said, there's a small portion of what he said in the end. The presentation yesterday, the motorcade, the various speakers and so on, it's carried in its entirety on the Credible Sources YouTube channel. And those of you guys who are joining us via our YouTube channel, we'll be grateful if you subscribe to that YouTube channel so that you get the notifications when we are live, folks. And when we post anything on that channel, you get it immediately, you get a notification. And, we're thankful for all of you who are joining us at that end, folks. Let's run you guys quickly through some of the other things we're following very quickly, so we equip you with the kind of information you might be interested in as you head off to the rest of your day. Good folks, let's touch on some of that. So Cecian, we see you there. Lester Weeks and Roxanne, we see you. Gloria Fraser, we see you as well. And I see Ewart Richards is there. Henry Rodney, Karen Kingston Moore, we see you as well. So guys, look at some of the other things we're following. Internationally, folks, let's just run the board here very quickly. There's a heat storm that's being reported. They say it's stretching into Europe, and we've been talking about this for the last few days. It's hot. It's hotter than usual. Not just summer. It's summer 2.0. It's summer to the 10th power. Folks, it's hot out there. And Europe saying that this thing getting worse. It's getting progressively worse. Dolly Parton over the weekend, she was on a podcast. She said she has no intention of retiring. She's 77. Right? Somebody else 30, you sign off. 40, 50, and you sign off, you lock up shop and you're gone. Parton says she has no intention of retiring. Right? She said the best that could happen is that she fall long dead when singing on stage. In the middle of a performance, she says, that's how I can go. I can die on the job. Die with her boots on. She says, no intention of retiring. Yeah. 50, and you done sign out. Watching your funeral program at the top of the wardrobe every day, reading the eulogy, putting the final touches. At least I ain't giving up. 77. Regionally, folks, regionally, I tell you, there's a lot of things heating up in Trinidad and Tobago. Local government election season there. I think the local government election comes up on the 15th of August. The Prime Minister says that he's willing to pay more, willing to pay extra, to be precise, for officers of integrity. This is the police force he's talking about here. For officers of integrity. These are things you don't hear here, you know. You don't. Really want to put your body where your mouth is. We're willing to pay more for officers of integrity. Officers of integrity. That's Trinidad, folks. And in Jamaica, the Minister of Tourism has come out in words of comfort and condolences. So many across the Caribbean has the CEO of Sandals, you know, that international resort. And the CEO lost his wife quite recently. I was reading the statement out of him, Adam Stewart, over the weekend. A lengthy but beautiful statement from the family on the passing of his wife. She was battling with cancer and unfortunately lost that battle over the weekend. And so the Minister of Tourism out of Jamaica had some words for the family, as so many persons I saw across the Caribbean over the weekend there. You know? Yeah. Thoughts and prayers with that family. Thoughts and prayers with that family. Jamaica, we're still in Jamaica, folks. They got 3 councillors resigned from the People's National Party. Right? 3 of them resigned. Not only did they resign, you think it's only here. Nothing new under the sun. They join up with some other councillors from across the aisle, and they push out one of the colleagues from one of their municipalities there in Jamaica. And the pundits on the ground say they want to push out some other people too. So this is government and opposition working together. This strange ways, you know, they say politics make strange bedfellows. I believe it. After you see what happened in Jamaica, I sat next to Chase Green for years and heard Chase Green cuss out the PPP. Now Chase Green over there drinking soup. You know, politics, they say, make strange bedfellows. So the PNP going through the throes of it. They're going through the throes of it. Who don't know? And the 592, folks, in the 592, look some of the stuff happening at our end. Man lost his life over the weekend. You know, I don't know how people get into confrontation so easily. But a man and his family, they went to, you know, have a bit of nice time at a bar on the Linden Suicide Highway. And then there's an altercation with them and some other patrons. And this is how this fellow can end up losing his life. So this altercation started and the family ran out of this bar and, you know, several of them split up in different directions. And then they found this fella by the junction there, Linden Suicide Highway. You know, with multiple stab wounds. Multiple stab wounds. Yeah. You go to have some relaxation, recreation with your family at a bar. You don't know that's it, you know. That is how life is so fragile in this country. That is how life is so fragile in this country. He ain't getting knocked down. He ain't had a heart attack. Fight and stop. They said police are looking for the folks, and the man who lost his life is Joel Valenzuela. Joel Valenzuela lost his life over the weekend there. Just like that, folks. Found with stab wounds at the Suicide Junction. They're telling us 4 women were robbed at the Rio nightclub over the weekend. Welcome home. Welcome home, folks. Welcome home. 4 women robbed at the Rio nightclub over the weekend. Yeah. Again, you go for a little recreation, a little relaxation, and you don't know that's it, you know. You don't know that's it. You don't know that's it. Police force telling us they want an air unit. I think we should get a couple things right first. You know, things we should have a handle on, but we don't. We should get a couple of those things right first, and then you can go off in another direction. Get a couple of things right, and then you can move on. They want to establish an air wing. I see some policemen drive. I ain't trust them flying over me head. I don't. I ain't trust them yet flying over my head. I see a couple of them drive. So let me get a couple of things that should be in our power to fix, but still languishing for the want of attention. Them boys want air wing. Maybe we start them off with some drones. You remember the lighter, the wire, and the sponge? 2.0. Folks, there isn't a country on earth like Guyana. Before we let you guys go, before we let y'all go, right? President said some mosquito was bothering him, and so he lit some toilet paper to fend off the mosquitoes. He didn't deliberately set the prison on fire. You know, prison, Big Dam. Part of it apparently was scorched over the weekend. And one report we saw, fellow said it's the mosquitoes. He says the mosquitoes he was trying to get rid of. You know, he was improvising a coil. Yeah, I know the coil. The insect repellent mechanism. You light and you stick in a drinks bottle. Yeah, I know the coil. He says the mosquitoes he's trying to fend off. We got some real mosquitoes in this country. Yep. You ever went to sleep and you got up and you suspended off the bed? This is not exorcist, you know. You suspended like 3 feet off the bed. That happened to you. Then when you look good, is that mosquitoes carrying you off? That happened to you? So I understand where this fellow coming from. This is not exorcist, those Guyanese mosquitoes. The Guyanese mosquitoes. Fellow said he was fighting with them. And he was trying to fend them off. So he light up. Light up. Never dull moment. Never dull moment. We saw also Paul Slow weighing into that same issue we spoke of at the beginning of our program. T. Mohammed's. He said, former Assistant Commissioner of Police. Slow says that the Reuters report showcased serious allegations against Ali and the government and Mohammed's. Serious allegation, he said. Serious allegation. And finally, folks, finally, they're telling us that Darmlal's replacement could be named as early as Thursday. There's a sitting of the National Assembly before they go into recess. All right? They're coming for money, folks. We know that's the only time they come. That's the only time they come. They're coming for some money. So the National Assembly is sitting on Thursday, and Darmlal's replacement is likely to be named. Right? Is likely to be named on Thursday. Likely to be named on Thursday. Right? And that's what you're following this morning, folks. Before you go, share the live for us. Smash that emoji button. We want you folks to go off and have a great rest of the day. And don't forget, folks, we couldn't run to SDK on water. And that's why we ask you wonderful folks to partner with us. It's precisely why we ask you folks to partner with us. All right? And while you're doing that, we want to remind you that the Alistair Collins firm, experts at documentation, you need a good commissioner vote affidavit You need a justice of the peace, we recommend them. They're right down there, folks, at the Callian Mall on Lamaha Street between Camp and Waterloo Streets. 649-6410. We recommend them highly. Again, you need a good justice of the peace. These folks understand what they're doing with this kind of work. You need a good commission of votes to affidavits. Again, they know what they're doing. 649-6410, Callian Mall, Lamaha Street, between Camp and Waterloo Streets. We recommend them highly, folks. We recommend them highly. That being said, good folks, that being said, we want you guys to go ahead and have a great rest of the day, a fantastic rest of the day. Remember to partner with us as well, good folks, because we can't do this without you. And we're thankful that you guys have been every step of the way with us. We thank you for your love. We thank you for your support. And of course, we thank you folks for your generosity as well. And this is how you can do that. For those of you who don't know, we are available by Cash App, Zelle, PayPal, MoneyGram, Western Union. 627-6963 if you have any queries. 627-6963 if you have any queries. And that's going to do it for us. We're out of your hairs. Thanks for joining us on our broadcast today. So great having so many of you. And if I remember correctly, there's a protest on today, folks. I think we're back on the square. I think we're back on the square today. That's what I'm being made to understand. I think we're back on the square today with our protest. I think we're back on the square. All right? If so, we're going to put out something on our page. So keep posted on Credible Sources Facebook page. If it's on, we're going to put out a little notification there for you guys. We're going to confirm. Once it's on, we're going to put out a little notification on our Facebook page. So stay tuned, folks. For that, look forward to that. Thanks for joining us. See you guys back on our next broadcast. Sheila Boyd Child, we see you there. Karen Kingston Moore, Gloria Gordon, Linda Thomas, and all the other folks joining us. Have a fantastic rest of the day, folks, and we're wishing you guys a productive, fired up, and ready to go rest of the week, folks. Take care. Take care. That's our time, good folks, and that's our program. Take care. Watch out for others, folks, and be safe out there.